Well, African Americans turned out in record numbers, first to sweep U.S. President Barack Obama into office and then to re-elect him. Darryl Pinckney wrote an opinion piece in the New York Times that asks, should black voters keep their faith in Obama? In the book Blackballed, The Black Vote and U.S. Democracy, Darryl Pinckney examines a century and a half of participation by blacks in American electoral politics. He is a writer, essayist, and playwright who has contributed to several leading publications, including The New Yorker, and currently teaches at Columbia University. Darryl, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
We just talked last week, leading up to the midterm elections, about the importance of the black vote. I guess I just want to ask you, how do you feel today? Are you frustrated?
I'm disappointed and a bit confused, but I think it's important to fight the inclination to disengage because this is what the opposition wants.
You said confused, so I'm curious, what are you confused about?
I don't understand why people don't vote. Especially nowadays, the vote is in itself a kind of protest. I don't think that there was a resurgent protest from Republicans. These people were never going to vote for Democratic candidates, and they were never going to support Obama. And so instead of talking about how he has let us down, in a way, we let him down and the party let him down by distancing certain races from him.
And to your point, in the op-ed that you wrote in the New York Times, you opened the piece, you found the piece on this peg about your personal trainer, who is an African-American male and who does not vote.
No.
And he is symbolic of many of the black community here in the United States. I can't call them electorate because they don't vote. So if there was not enough to galvanize enough of the black vote in this midterm election, these disenfranchised African Americans who don't participate in our political and civic process, what do you do now to energize them?
I think it has to be something that goes community by community. Ferguson, Missouri will see how all of that translates into local political activity. It's always been a mystery, really, in American history, why midterm elections are so poorly attended. It's been a problem since 1840. But in the black community, it's especially difficult. Brent Staples talked several years ago about the number of black men who are disenfranchised because of their involvement with the criminal justice system. Often, mistakenly, they think that they're not eligible. Even in Harlem today, I had sort of the feeling that a lot of people weren't really aware that this had happened at a time when single mothers comprised 35% of the electorate. And the one sort of, the Republicans, of course, got their base white men of a certain age, but they still don't win women. And this is very important, aiming toward 2016.
Can you kind of parse out why you think there is this lack of engagement, lack of involvement? You talked a little bit in your article about this inherent mistrust of the government and of the people who brought oppression in this quote-unquote democracy. So is it that? I mean, can we really blame it on institutional racism and slavery, or is it just out and out apathy?
I think that these problems are deeply rooted, and Joe Nelson used to call black people the forgiving tribe, and there is something there that sort of feels, why cooperate, why try to be part of the system? To do so is a con. To fall for a con because the results are so meager. Here we have a real African-American political class, as Martin Kilson calls it, and yet conditions for blacks have really sunk in recent years.
Darryl, I just want to ask you, how much do you hold the White House in general and the president specifically responsible for this apathy or lack of understanding of the importance of the black vote? The White House seems or has been criticized to do a poor job in messaging, in getting the message out about what they want to do, what they've already done, what they're trying to do. So does the White House bear some responsibility in this election?
I think that his style as a president is important. He speaks to us as though we are intelligent and rational. He doesn't sort of descend to ideology and empty rhetoric. I think that also he is a centrist figure, probably much more so than many blacks. And so it's ridiculous that the Congress refused to work with a man like this. and the will to obstruct him, I'm afraid, has deep racist roots.
What effect do you think, in terms of the disconnection between the African American community and this first Black president, what effect do you think having so much division in the leadership, if you will, of the African American community, so many pundits, analysts, and I can think Cornel West and Tavis Smiley, so very critical of the president, how much of a role did that play?
I don't think much, but they voice something that's there. And as fond as I am of Cornel West, I often wonder, who do you think would be there instead? He has done some really important things, got us out of war, passed the Affordable Health Care Act. These things take time, and he sort of needs our backing, and we need to back ourselves as well. So I think that we risk becoming like those countries we used to feel sorry for, where the state and the society don't have much to do with one another. All that Pew Research summaries about who doesn't vote and why is rather depressing, because it means the poor, those who don't have time, those who don't feel included, those who don't feel a part of things, and those who are afraid.
And very often those are the ones that have the most at stake.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Darryl Pinckney, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Insightful analysis.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.